Hello all. Thank you for coming into the virtual room. It's lovely. I was going to say to see you all, but quite a lot of you don't have your cameras on yet. Can I just say, if you don't want your camera on, that's fine, or you're not comfortable, that's fine also. But otherwise, it's lovely to see some friendly faces. In this Zoom world, it's still like to meet people. And actually, it saves us going outside and getting wet and meeting somewhere in a venue. So in the meantime, what'd be really good to see is as the week's gone on, in one word, how do you feel? So one word, how do you feel? Yeah, as the week's gone on. So it'd be good to get to a sense of a vibe and a feeling in the room. I would say thank you for Nikki, Tracy, and Robin for putting your cameras on. It's lovely to see you. I can see some more now. Melanie, Amelia, please correct me if I'm saying any names incorrectly. Belinda, oh Deborah, hello Deborah, Margaret, Amanda. So thank you all for having your cameras on. And I can see people turn their cameras off. They don't want to be called out. That's fine. I can see Peter, Junior, Temi, Walter, also, Altine. Am I saying it right, Altine? Okay, please correct me if I'm someone's inspired, two people inspired, motivated, Fiona's inspired, Melanie's encouraged, Rebecca hopeful, Robin torn. Be interesting to find out more about that. But no, thank you for sharing anyway. Hopeful, Tracy hopeful, Joanne hopeful, Amanda encouraged, Amanda another Amanda inspired, Margaret empowered, hopeful. Really good stuff here. So we want to make this event, it's a nice chance for us all to get together. So this is for yourself. So what I'm going to do, without any further ado, is hand you over to Raj to take us from here. Thank you, Raj.
Thanks, Javed. Very big welcome to the Race Equality Week closing event. I'd like to thank you all for joining us and sharing your thoughts in the chat. I know you've all got other things to do, so we don't take for granted the fact that you've made time to be with us. This is our sixth Race Equality Week, and once again, it's been powered by Lloyd's of London and Green Park. Uh, their investment and support means that you all have access to a portfolio of free resources to help you and your organisation. Do let us know if you'd like to sponsor the next one or something. I'm Raj Tulsiani, Chief Executive of Green Park. For 20 years, we've been working with organisations that want leadership that truly reflects the society we serve, the customers they serve, or just increases their opportunity to do what they said they were going to do. The reason this work matters so much to us is that we see its impact every day, from a 96% completion rate on C-suite executive search to over half our leaders being appointed being women, and a third of our 150 to 200 in a good year board level placements being ethnically diverse. But today isn't about Green Park, it's about you and the difference you can all make through your own actions and through the actions you can influence. So, and that's why, along with Javed, founder of the Collaboratory, we co-founded Race Equality Matters all those years ago. Today, we're expecting over 100 organisations from 60 different cities and towns, from Leeds to London, Derby to Dubai, Durham to Denver, and Glasgow to Gavin and Stacey's Barry Island. I think that's an in-joke with Javed. It clearly shows there's still loads of reach and appetite to collaborate and to be catalysts for change in really important times and keep a focus on issues that matter the most to us today, but also to deal with the backlash and the reduction in interest and this whole battle we've got now to get people to say what was really important 6, 9 months ago, and now it's been deprioritized. So, if you're in the struggle continues. But before we start, a bit of housekeeping. As always, this event is being recorded and you'll have access to it. To make our events more accessible, closed captioning will be enabled. During this session, your sound will be auto-disabled to minimize distraction to others. So please share ideas and questions in the chat, and we will, as always, do our best to respond. If you're using accessibility features, please be aware that the chat may become very active. You might want to turn off notification sounds as there's a lot of pings, particularly when coming out of breakout sessions. So what's coming up in the next 45 minutes? There's a Have Your Say in the State of the Nation poll, so we can get a pulse check on what's happening, who's in the room, where we're at with things. You'll hear from Helen Robinson and John Chan at Auto Trader and Sophie Bruhl from CMS. And they'll be sharing their Race Equality Week experiences. Looking forward to hearing from those speakers. We will collaborate and connect, giving you all a chance to share with each other some of your own experiences. We'll share what's in the pipeline. We'll announce the date for next year's Race Equality Week, and we will wrap at 1:15. What we're going to try and do today is to leave you feeling more connected to each other and know that you're not alone. Hopefully, you'll get a bit of inspiration and learning, but many of you will know that not just for us, but for campaigns, things are financially tough, and we do need your help to be sustainable. So we must then, because of that, be humble and give a really big shout out to our incredible funding partners who stayed committed to race equality when many others have used it for reasons to remove investment. A huge thank you to Lloyd's of London. Lloyd's of London have been amazing this week, putting on 3 events, really just going out above and beyond. And also thanks to my firm for Green Park for powering Race Equality Week and allowing me to do this thing that I feel so passionately about. We're also proud to be supported and work alongside the Collaboratory, BT, put some money in at the beginning and then disappeared, Auto Trader, HS2, Direct Line, Amy, Network Rail, CMS, and our new partners, Navona. If your organization could help, please do reach out to us. Before we start sharing the highlights of the week, we're going to, as always, kick things off by hearing from the room. So there's a quick State of the Nation poll, a check-in to see what's going on and how you're seeing things, and just really to just get a little temperature check. So Sam, please do launch that poll.
Thank you all for completing this. So, seeing who's in the room today. So 62% identifies ethnically diverse or an appropriate equivalent, and then 38% are allies. Question 2, what role do you play in your organisation? So 15% are senior leaders. It's been kind of roughly that all week, so that's 1 in 7, which is really good. 11% HR, 22% DI leads, 21% race network members, 17% race network leads, and 35%, so that's 1 in 3, have other roles. So it's really good to have the mix, and that's been quite consistent. So we are spreading out the roles of the people that join these events. Question 3, did your organisation take part in Race Equality Week this year? So 64% saying yes, and then 25% no, and 11% not sure. So 2 and 3 of you took part this year, which is fantastic. I think at the beginning of the week it was about 50 in the 50% had previously done it. Has your organisation participated before? It's 57%, and then no 23%, and not sure 20%. How many Race Equality Matters events did you attend? So quite a mix there. So it's more or less split. So a third of you came to 1 event, a third of you 2 events, and 20%. So 1 in 5 of you 3 events. Again, it's just good to know the mix here. So thank you for joining us, for those that came to every single one, which is, as I said, 1 in 5 of you. Question 6, do you think that Race Equality Week will make an impact? So 54% of you saying yes, and then 4% saying no. Okay, and then 32% saying not sure. And if we take out those that didn't take part, it's about 61% thinks it's going to make an impact. So thank you for sharing that. Compared to other DEI initiatives, how would you compare the impact of Race Equality Week? So more and significantly more impact shows 45%. But if we take out those that didn't participate, it's 64%. So that's 2 and 3 of you here think Race Equality Week, compared to other initiatives, is more or significantly more impactful. And then a further 33% the same as, and that's fine. So, that's fantastic. So thank you for sharing that. How is your organisation addressing race inequality. So this is the key one that I look forward to. So it's been more or less average this all week on the focuses on action, not just words. That's 32%. So it's been about 33 and about 35 all week. So that's only 1 in 3 organizations, or you saying organizations typically focus on action, not just words. Quite a lot still talk and does a little bit of action. Sadly, and on average, it's been between 1 and 2% do nothing. Just don't get it, but that's reality. Question 9. Which activities did your organization do during Race Equality Week? So quite a mix here. So doing a calculation, that's about 74% did at least one race equality matters solution. And then, as you can see, 43% did the 5-day challenge. And then 27% organised their own internal activities, which is great, but it might have included elements of the 5-day challenge. And then 15% the big promise, which is great. We really wanted that to take off. It's such a powerful game changer. Question 10. Has your organisation done anything that has made a noticeable impact in tackling race inequality? And that's 48%. So half think so. And we'd love to hear from you because we want to shine a light, like our speakers that are coming up, Auto Trader and CMS. So please do let us know if that's the situation. And then number 11, does your organisation help make tackling race inequality everyone's business? So that's 57% saying yes. And then no and not sure is the rest. But interesting, so 57% said their organisations help make tackling race inequality everyone's business. But the question before it, only 48% saying there's noticing a noticeable difference. So there is still a bit of a gap there. Thank you all for sharing that, and we'll share all this with you later.
As one would expect, really, for the last day of the week. But I think I'm going to hand over now to Javid, who can steer the ship through the most interesting parts, which is listening to our speakers.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Raj. And before we get to our first speakers, John and the head of Moist Trader, let's just watch a quick video which sums up the 5-day challenge, which most of you have done.
EqualityMatters.com, Race Equality Week, powered by Green Park and Lloyds of London, from the 2nd to the 8th of February 2026. Hashtag change needs all of us. What are you doing for Race Equality Week 2026?
I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
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 So what is the 5-day challenge? 5 challenges that take 5 minutes, 5 days to change the world. There are 5 daily challenges, each with a daily theme, with an eye-opener for each day and videos for each theme. And each challenge takes just 5 minutes. Additionally, this year there will be extra bonus content and additional resources. So what is good about the 5-day challenge?
The 5 minutes bit. So we do a lot of these in our kind of bystander training, our allyship, unconscious bias, disarmament and discrimination. We have a recovery college that co-produce all of these courses. But the bit for me was the 5 minutes over the 5 days. I really think it's a great concept. We can take it into our board, we can take it into our senior leadership events, etc. And there's no excuse for people not to do it. That's the thing. It's about really creating time. No one can say, we haven't got time to do this, Sharon, so no excuse.
87% believe it will have an impact. Thousands of organisations across the UK are doing the 5-day challenge, reaching over 1 million employees.
We're doing the 5-day challenge.
It's also happening across the world. Join us and take the 5-day challenge. Individually,
I am doing the 5-day challenge.
I am doing the 5-day challenge.
or you can do it collectively.
Green Park are doing the 5-day challenge.
We're doing the 5-day challenge.
We're doing the 5-day challenge.
Doing the 5-day challenge.
Great, thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce our first guest speakers, Helen Whitehead from Auto Trader and John Chan, also from Auto Trader. And they are recognized as Race Equality Matters bronze trailblazers. So that's in recognition that they focus on action and they've proven impact. So not just talk. John is finance leader and co-lead to the Ethnicity Network and is proud to spotlight and nurture the basic rights of inclusivity for the racially diverse at Auto Trader and for future generations. And Helen is a leader in the commercial teams at Auto Trader, but also co-leads the Ethnicity Network and Ally and recognises existing inequalities and the privilege that she's also experienced, but also seeing disadvantage as well. So thank you both for joining us today. So the theme this year, Helen, is Change Needs All of Us. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, a big thank you, by the way, for inviting us. We're really honoured that you've given us this time, but we've talked, myself and John, and across the business, specifically this week, but probably over the last months, around what change needing all of us means. And one of the things that I reflected on a lot is probably my community that I grew up in and the schools that I went to, and I was lucky to have like a really diverse group of people that I was exposed to, so I could really understand the broad world, cultures, ethnicities, and that spurred me on to join something called the Children's International Summer Villages when I think I was 11, which was like bringing children together to understand the wider global community. Then joining Auto Trader in our business, it's something that I've been hugely passionate about, that we should all be thinking about what we can do as an individual. And I think even more so over these last, it feels like years and years, if I'm completely honest, but the turbulence that's going on all over the world, it feels like that real challenge, that people being really frightened, boundaries being changed, that makes me feel probably the saddest I've ever felt, if I'm really honest. And I really feel that you have to do what you can. You can't I can't solve what's happening across the globe. I can't, I particularly watch what's happening in America at the moment. I can't fix that, but probably because I'm a bit of a control freak, I need to grab hold of something and do something that helps me feel like I'm contributing to a more positive now and future. So it's one of the things that I'd promised myself, and it's one of the things that um, we've talked a lot about as a business around what we can do. And the challenges, I've got to say, were excellent. They created some really brilliant conversation each day where we focused on the daily challenge and invited people to join us. And people learnt a lot. And I think when we've followed up with people, they walked away with an idea or something that they were going to do. So what that change, and really bought into the idea and the focus of change needs all.
Thanks. Because I know John's got to talk, because I guess the question we were going to ask is has Auto Trader done during race
Oh yeah,
equality,
sorry,
which
John
was going to pick up. Okay.
Sorry, John. I'll stop. But there we go.
It's all right. No, again, thank you again for inviting us. And I think just to elaborate a little bit. So on the run up to race equality week, I think the key to us was sort of the promotion and sharing of all the resources beforehand. So people were sort of, again, preempted in terms of what the 5-day challenges were. But I'm so proud again to say that as Auto Trader, we have as a organization take part of the 5-day challenges, and we purposely have highlighted this year to have sessions where colleagues can come together to talk about what the challenge has meant to them, and to have that that free and honest conversation that for some of our white colleagues, just unless it's like an overtly racist action, they wouldn't understand or wouldn't know that things like microaggressions, that that the need for allyship, it's in their powers to help and enable, but ultimately it's about education, it's about understanding and talking. Again, I know we talk and then it leads to dash, but the very first instance is to just to listen to people's experiences, that they haven't lived their shoes, in their shoes, and that microaggressions and racism still does exist, even though we, as a company, we have done great leaps and bounds in terms of trying to dispel elements around, racism, but ultimately it does exist, and to have colleagues in the room to put hands up and say they want to know more, that's very, very encouraging. And I think for us, again, for next year, is to do something similar, but on a probably a larger scale, to encompass more colleagues to come and talk, and to come and understand. And it did get quite emotive. I'm say it that way, especially going through some of the videos. You can tell that it did hit people quite deeply, and a colleague did say they felt ashamed because now they understand, but now they want to reach out more. So for us, Race Equality Week is a stepping stone, and like most of these things, it's an initiative, it's a focus in a week. However, how do we continue the conversation? How do we move out of Race Equality Week and get people to think and talk and share even more beyond these few days?
Thank you, John. And just to wrap up on this, what impact do you believe Race Equality Week has had, or you think it will have as a result of the week?
Yeah, so with people in the room that we had, and again, sharing the resources that we have on our various communication channels, people have suggested that could we look at building sort of business initiatives, so it gives the toolkits for people to understand what it means to become an ally, how they can be allies, and not just from a race perspective. There definitely will be a race focus, but across all intersectionality. But again, it's not just on our network, on our race network, being the ethnicity network, but it's actually that collaboration with leadership, with our people teams. Are there training sessions, are there education sessions which we can go out to our leaders and our future leaders, so that we can build this and instill that these things are still happening? So how do you recognize? How do you support? How do you become allies? Get that better understanding, and again, have it as a DNA of someone working in Auto Trader, that these are the things which, if you haven't brought that into Auto Trader from previous roles, then it's absolutely, there should be mechanisms where people are educated and get to hear and understand people of ethnic diverse backgrounds, that it is, we do tread different paths in life.
Thank you, John. Much appreciated. So thank you both, Helen and John. I think we talk about the 5-day challenge, and obviously there's a bit of a focus on allies stepping in and leaning in and taking a role. And I think we shared a bit about the 5-day challenge. Today is day 5 of the 5-day challenge, which is why I'm wearing the purple jumper, as it's the Big Promise Day, which is all about, like they've talked about, turning words into action. So we're just going to show a quick video to sort of bring that to life. Hello there. It's day 5 of Race Equality Week and day 5 of the 5-day challenge, which is 5 challenges that take 5 minutes over 5 days. There's lots of fives. Anyway, as you can see, it's Purple Day. So it's all about the big promise. Now, the big promise was a concept that came from the community. It's all about how can we be make commitments and be transparent about what we're doing to tackle race inequality, not just say things. So the big promises you can see is a series of promises you can make. So there are 4 sets of Magnificent Seven. So there's 7 promises for senior leaders, 7 promises for execs, 7 promises for allies, and then there's 7 promises for ethnically diverse colleagues. But you only have to do one. So go onto the Race Equality Matters website. There's an app. It's free to use. You go on it. It takes less than a minute. You put your details in there. You say whether you're ethnically diverse or senior leader, etc. Press a button, and then as you can see in the background, you get a choice of 7. Pick 1, 2, 3, or as many as you like. You pick them, and then you've got a choice to put your image on there, as you can see up there and over there. So you can put your photo on there. So create your little postcard and then put it on social media so it looks like this. So on day 5, we'll have a whole plethora of this purple coming out there. So don't just talk about it, take action. And by publicizing it, it means we're proud to be saying what we're committing to do. So remember, this is day 5 of the 5-day challenge. Hope you've had a wonderful race equality week, and see you soon. Great. Thank you. So make a big promise, and there'll be a link in the chat, and go on there. And again, please put it on social media. The more purple we see, the more postcards we see, you can have your photo on there or not, the better. Thank you. So what I'm going to do, so you can join this portfolio. That our next speaker, Sophie Briel, who I apologize, I hadn't fully invited her, but she still turned up. So a good ally and sort of when we needed her, she's here. So thank you so much. So Sophie is from CMS. She's the head of diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, so DEIB, and a core member of the HR leadership team at international law firm CMS. She works alongside the senior leaders and is responsible for delivering the firm's DEIB agenda across its international platform, driving change at a global level. So we're very lucky to have her here. So thank you. She's rushed from one meeting, be going to another one straight after this. So thank you. If we can unmute yourself, please, Sophie, and say hello so I can hear you working.
I'm here. Hi.
Yeah, very good. Lovely. Thank you. So, so again, like we asked Helen, why do you think the theme changes all of us is important?
So I think for all of the change to happen, usually it's the underrepresented group or the minority or the group that is suffering from that unfairness, injustice that starts trying to create change. But actually, it's not on them to fix the system, society, the organization, right? Because it requires a lot of emotional labor, and it is exhausting, right? But often they are also not in the position of power to create that change. And that's why we need, for example, to start with leaders, the people who own the processes, who are driving the culture of an organization, to take full responsibility for that change. And then there's everybody else. There are people who have managerial responsibility, who are responsible for sharing the workload, for example, assigning work to team members, creating development opportunities, giving feedback that is going to be supporting that progression and career progression. And there's colleagues who are creating that environment where people feel that they can be themselves, they can be open and transparent about who they are, their background, and feel that they belong. So it really is on all of us in different ways to contribute. And I know there's a number of diversity and inclusion specialists on the line today, and we were talking about that earlier, that often they are one-person team, and it can feel very, very lonely, and it can feel that it is only on you. But there's a lot of people across organizations who are keen to support. They just don't really know maybe how to do that. So it's important, the 5-day challenge, to give them the tools to do so. But I just want to reach out to those colleagues who are in those roles. There's a quote that says, to never underestimate the power of small group of committed people to change the world, because in fact that's the only thing that ever has. So it's just keeping that in mind, because it's a bit of a roller coaster.
You can start
Actually.
somewhere. And actually, we're not alone today. We're all here today. So thank you very much.
Exactly.
I know you've been quite busy this week. So what did CMS do during Race Equality Week, and what early impact or what impact do you think it might have?
So first and foremost, it's a catalyst for conversation. So we talk and work on race equity all year round, but it's really an opportunity for us to take the time, pause, reflect, and engage our people. We use the 5-day challenge. So we are a law firm. Our lawyers, literally, time is money. They charge their time. So 5 minutes can really make a difference. So that's a very super effective way to engage people who are very time poor. So we push out the 5-day challenge. We obviously encourage people to join your events. And this year we released our very first race equity update report. Because what we realized is, like, we've been working on this for a decade, but actually how much do our own people know about the work we are doing in the background, trying to create more equitable and fair processes, looking at data, creating like better inclusion through like training our leaders, etc. So we wanted to make sure that people understand the work we've been doing, our plans for the future, and our ambition. So we've released the report, and then we had a panel session with our senior partner, which is the equivalent of a chairperson, and our race equity partner, to talk about the report, talk about their personal experiences when it comes to race equality, and also open the conversation to the floor and have a two-way conversation. And it's been very well received. That genuine, open, honest conversation about, look, we've made some progress, but these are all of the challenges that will still remain to be tackled. And we also had a legal sector event last night in our Glasgow office, because we are all across the UK, in partnership with the local law society, to talk about ethnic diversity in the legal sector in Scotland in particular. And again, it was very, very well received. So very positive. People acknowledge the fact that we are being honest about the conversation and that we are having the conversation.
Great, thank you. And we've got the week, and as like Raja said, it's the start of the year. So race inequality isn't tackled in a week; it's a 365-day thing. So what briefly, what next?
So we've got strategic priorities specifically related to race equity. We've got a plan, and so the next few things are around more training for our leaders, but also for our entire workforce, to help them increase their awareness, their understanding of the challenges that exist, but also giving them the tools. That's what I told them on Wednesday. It's on all of us, but you're not on your own. We'll help you to contribute. We are developing a development program for our talent, ethnic minority talent. What else? I think they are the key priorities. One thing that is linked to progression, because we know it's one of the biggest challenges. It's making sure that ethnically diverse talent progress through the rank into more senior positions. It's making sure that work allocation is being done fairly, and so people have access to those opportunities to develop and progress.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And actually, everyone watch out. We're going to be focusing a bit more on this later in the year, so watch this space. So thank you so much for spending time, Sophie, and also Helen and John earlier. So now let's just quick live from the studio. So Anna was working really hard last night on a really short video to sum up the highlights of Race Equality Week. The sound may be a bit loud because we didn't finish the sound, so you might want to put your volume down a tiny bit. If we can have the video, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, so just before we go to a breakout, just briefly, what would be really good is if you could just type in the chat what was good about Race Equality Week for you. What was good about Race Equality Week for you? If you just type that in the chat, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, don't worry about typos or spellings. It was just really good for us to sort of get a sense and share in the room what was good because we're going to be all talking to each other. I'll give about 30 seconds for that. Don't worry about typos, and we'll collect it all, share it all later, and we'll anonymize it all as well. Yeah. Resource and videos, the 5-day challenge, people liking, speakers, keeping the topics front of mind, powerful videos. That's fantastic. So what if you complete that? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a little breakout groups. You've got about you'll have about 6 minutes. And so basically it's what did you just share with each other? What did your organization do for Race Equality Week? And appreciate some of you maybe are new to this, so just listen to others, and then maybe what are your future plans for keeping the momentum going? Because it doesn't end on the 8th. There's the 9th, and then there's the 10th, and it keeps going. So basically, you're going to go to little groups. Please do share with each other, and then we'll allow about 6 minutes, and then you come back. Okay. So I'm going to end the poll. Thank you so much for doing that. So go in your group, and we'll see you in about sort of six or so minutes. Okay, great. So if I just give you 30 seconds to, if you just throw in the chat what you did during the week, that'd be fantastic. If you just throw in the chat, that'd be fantastic. Thank you for that. And I know someone in our group 365 days worth of stuff in a week, so they may not be able to have the whole time. Don't worry about typos or things. What we do is we'll collate this and then we'll provide a pack that you'll all get, which includes here's some ideas for Race Equality Week in effect 2027. So please do share it. We know lots of you do to find a challenge, but some of you are like releasing reports or research and doing a whole range of things. So thank you for that. So we'll give just another few seconds on that. And I said, don't worry about typos. We'll tidy it all up and everything. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. I think what's really important for us is to get some feedback as well for the week so we get a sense of what's happening. So we've got time for the picture at the moment. Can we just have the poll, please, Sam? Thank you. If anyone wants to stay behind for the group photo, please do so. Let's let the old school photos in it. Stand on the step if you're standing at the back. Thank you so much for completing this. So this enables us to know what's working and how we can help you more. So would you recommend today's event to others? So that's 93%. So a big thank you to the 3 wonderful speakers, John, Helen and Sophie. Question 2, did you learn anything new today that will help your organization be more impactful in its actions? That's 63% of you saying yes, so 2 and 3. So that's wonderful. And I think part of that is actually the breakout groups as well. 11% saying no and 26% saying not sure. Again, we'd love to hear from you to see how we can make this help you more. Question 3, did you learn and hear things you wouldn't normally have access to? So this is, I guess, what are you getting exclusively? And that's 74%. So 3 and 4 of you are saying yes. Question 4, did you hear or learn anything that you will use? This is really important. So 63% saying yes, but if we combine it for those, if they had the authority, it's a fantastic 85%. So again, really rich learning for us all today. Was it helpful to hear from our speakers? So 93% is saying yes. So yeah, fantastic. So thank you to all 3 of them. And question 6, would you be interested in Race Equality Matters running a 5-day challenge session or another solution in your organization later in the year? So half of you, 54% saying yes. And appreciate some of you don't have a budget. So maybe one day you might get that support, or we can look at other ways of opening up some events. Thank you all for completing that. It's really, really helpful. So now I'm going to hand you back to Raj, who will announce the date for next year.
Thanks, Javed, and thanks, team. I think you've all done a fantastic job this year. No idea my video's gone off. I think you've done a great job this year with limited resources. It's been fantastic. Next year, the week will be the 1st to the 7th of February. So look forward to seeing you then. And I was delighted to see so many people in one of the polls said that they were interested in becoming members. We need that membership to survive. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to end by sharing what's in the pipeline to help you keep moving forward. We've got some exciting events coming up. In March, we'll do a live run through of the membership hub so you can see all the assets and resources you can access. And we're starting a new series in March for member organisations, Coffee, Connect and Collaborate. Tight 40 minutes for members who can get there over Zoom and discuss the issues that matter the most with experts and peers. There's room for a sponsor. We heard from Sophie earlier, and we're delighted to say that our wonderful partners, CMS, will be still supporting the Race and series, where we will spend a whole session to go deeper on race recruitment and progression, which I thought she spoke very well about some of the challenges. If any of your organisations are making good progress, we'd love to hear from you, although we will check, so you can't just amplify your aspirations, you've actually got to be doing something. None of our work would be possible without Race Equality Matters community and your support, so thank you for joining us. Thank you very much to our wonderful speakers, Sophie, John and Helen, and thank you for taking your time to share your impact with us. Thank you to Lloyds and Green Park for powering Race Equality Week, and to our key and valued partners as well. Change needs all of us, and you showed up today. It's been a great week, and together we can keep the momentum going throughout the year and beyond. We can't change the past, but we can help shape and influence the future in our organisations and our networks. Thank you, and take care.